Hey everybody, this is FireMaiden at the Crafty Cauldrons with this week's book reviews. This week is going to be a little different because I'm not actually doing Pagan books, but this is a video that I encourage you to watch. I don't know if you've caught it yet, but I have something called Asperger Syndrome. It is a high-functioning form of autism. I'm not telling you this to get pity or anything. I'm telling it to spread awareness and to say hi out there to all the other Aspies. It's April, and April is Autism Awareness Month. And that is why I'm doing this. And I want to do this video for those who are Aspies, who know Aspies, and for those who know Aspies but don't even realize they do. Because although the statistic is that 1 in 80 children is diagnosed with Asperger's or autism of some form, there is no statistic for adults. Because a lot of adults never get diagnosed. My friend also told me to point out Asperger's is the reason I don't look at the camera a lot. Just noticed I was doing it, so I thought I'd say that real fast. Anyways, I was diagnosed when I was 5. But I've only started learning about it, really learning about it, for the last 2 or 3 years, and it has been the most remarkable journey of my life. It really has. I have learned so much about myself. I have learned so many reasons for the things that I do. And I encourage anybody watching this who is an Aspie, or who thinks they might be, that the following books are books that I've read cover to cover, and I love them, and I recommend that you get them because they are so incredibly helpful. The first book, this is the first book I bought on Asperger's when I started my journey, and it's The Complete Guide to Asperger Syndrome by Tony Attwood. He is literally the name in Asperger's. He's not an Aspie, but he's very much on our side, and from all that I can tell from other articles I've read about him and by him, he's a good guy. This is not a personal book, like an overly personal book. What this is, it's a very technical book. It's a very doctor book. It's a very, very scientific book. Because what it does is it goes over symptoms. It goes over things that you do, that your children might do. Ways to help with that, ways to adjust. That's the kind of book this is. And I remember when I was reading it and I was going through the chapters and I'm like, I do that, I do that, I do that, I do that, I do that. And it was so cool reading all of these different symptoms and realizing there's a reason for them. There's a reason I do that. My favorite quote of all time, I'm not weird for no reason. I'm not just some oddball that freaks people out. There's a reason I am the way I am. And that's something great about this book. The next book is, again, not a personal storybook. What this is it is a storybook. It is a fictional book, Blue Bottle Mystery, an Asperger Adventure by Kathy Hoopman. She's written a bunch of other great books, such as All Cats Have Asperger's, and From the One Meowing in the Corner, excuse the dirty room. Thanks for that tip. It's a story about a little boy who finds a little blue bottle, and it grants him wishes, and the boy is an Aspie, and there are parts where I had to stop reading because I started crying because of things happening with bullying, and I could relate, and it's a really good story, especially to give any family members, if your child has it, to help them understand a little bit of what your kid's going through from a very non-technical level. It's also a book that your kid might enjoy reading if they're an Aspie, because it makes the kid with the Asperger's out to be the hero, and that was something I really, really enjoyed. This next book, I've never given bigger 5-star rating for anything in my life, is Aspergirls by Rudy Simone. If you don't know, Asperger's was founded by Hans Asperger's. Thing was, is he found it in the early 1900s, and all of his research was done on boys. So a lot of the symptoms, a lot of the things we go through, a lot of the ways to diagnose it are done based off of data collected from boys, not women. And we experience things way different than the boys do. So This book is written by an Aspie for Aspies, and it is a woman that writes it. And she goes through everything about her life and how she's figured things out, and hers has been an amazing journey, and I've read this book several times. Something else cool that she does that I really enjoyed was like this. Chapter 4, stimming and what we do when we're happy. Personally, my stimming habits are, I do this, amongst other things other than the hand flapping. But it gives advice directly. Advice to Asperger girls on what to do, and advice to parents on what to do. The ways to handle these things. And that's why it's one of the greatest books I've found so far. And it's one of the only books that focuses solely on women, so I do suggest this book all the way. Pretending to be Normal. It's a very small book, but it's by Leanne Holiday Wiley. Another book that I recommend. Again, it's a personal recount of her life. She is not diagnosed with Asperger's, but she's positive she has it. Her daughter has it too. And it goes through her life as an Aspie, and it has some advice at the end. I really wish that I had more of her work. But it's a very good book, and it's worth a read. This last one, I'm gonna say this name wrong, is by Jessie A. Saperstein. It's called Atypical: Life with Asperger's in 20 1/3 chapters. This is the only book other than the one by Tony Attwood that is written by a guy. And he does have Asperger's, and it is a recount of his life. It's very much not an informational book. But it is worth reading, even though, for me as a woman, this book was weird. Because, again, for women, it's different for us. So seeing his experience was a little odd. He's also, in several chapters, comes off as a bit of an ass. But at one point he goes over the story where he climbed the Appalachian Mountains, and something I really love about that is the fact that, he's showing our Asperger's, our autism, does not have to hold us back. And we can do what we set out to do, and never, never let anybody tell you that you can't do it. Only you can say that you cannot do something. Only you can know what you are not capable of, and don't let anybody tell you otherwise. I want to end this with reading something that Leanne Wiley wrote. The self-affirmation pledge of Asperger Syndrome. I am not defective. I am different. I will not sacrifice my self-worth for peer acceptance. I am a good person and an interesting person. I will take pride in myself. I am capable of getting along with society. I will ask for help when I need it. I am a person who is worthy of others' respect and acceptance. I will find a career interest that is well suited to my abilities and interests. I will be patient with those who need time to understand me. I am never going to give up on myself. I will accept myself for who I am. And I want, again, any Aspies watching this to remember that. I want any parents whose kids are Aspies to remember that. Never let your kid think that they're defective. It is okay to be different. It is okay to be odd. It is okay to be weird. But never let anybody tell them that there is something wrong with them. Never let somebody make them feel like less than what they are. Never let them tell them they can't do something. Again, Jessie climbed the Appalachian Mountains, and there's another book called Don't Look Me in the Eyes. I haven't read it, but that guy's an Aspie, and he was in a rock band. We can do things. I mean, Susan Boyle, she's an Aspie. We can do things, and there's nothing stopping us but ourselves. If you can't do something, you can't do something. But if you believe you can do it, then you can do it, and never let anybody tell you different. But, again, I recommend every one of these books. Atypical, like I said, is a little weird, but then again, I'm also a girl. So for the guys watching this, this is a book that you might enjoy. Anyways, happy Autism Awareness Month. I hope that you enjoyed this book review. I hope that this helps you more than any other book review that I can ever do on this. And see you guys next week, and blessed be.